Bitch, my patience is being tested right now. Like, you need to pray for me because I'm like being tested right now as we speak. Like, I'm being tested, okay? Welcome back to my channel. So today we have another story time coming at y'all because it's Friday and we be turning up on Fridays. If you guys aren't aware of the new schedule, story times are now on Friday with an additional video every single Tuesday. Today's story time is going to be about the dramatic ass fashion show that I was a part of as a makeup artist, and it was like the most dramatic shit that I had ever been through, to the point where I pieced out in the middle of the show and I didn't even fucking stay. So if you guys would like to hear about my dramatic ass fashion show experience, please keep on watching. As usual, before we get into today's story time, today's glamour shot of the day is my beautiful Glamazon Sky. She goes by Sky Loves You here on Twitter. Sky, oh my god, you have the kind of smile that just lights up the whole room, love. You're so beautiful. Thank you so much for sending me your glamour shot. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. I would not be here without you. I could not do this without you guys. I love y'all so fucking much. Now let's get into the video. I might get a little hype in the middle of this story, like what's new, but honestly, like every time I think about this entire situation, it pisses me the fuck off because my time was wasted and I just don't like people like this. Y'all already know how I feel about rude bitches, and it's just like one of those things. So we're gonna get into this, but I'm telling you right now that it might get like a little bit hype. I might not be able to control my temper. Some of you guys enjoy like these rant type videos, and some of you guys like to go down in my comments like, why are you yelling? I mean, if you guys want like a little quiet whispering YouTuber, you can click off. Okay, bye. So we won't do this. I do have my wine today, and I got my ratchet ass nails done. Finally, I don't still have my Christmas nails on, so I ventured out in the snow today just to get them done, just for y'all, because I love y'all so much. I was with a friend at the time that I've known for years, and we will call her Shannon, okay? Shannon and I have been friends for years, and we both did makeup artistry. We've done it for events before, you know, separately. So one day I have a friend, and we will call her Tanya, okay? So my friend Tanya was starting a line of clothing, and as most of you guys know, I've talked about my friend Stacy before, and Stacy is also a designer, and she went to LA. She lived there for a few years. She just came back recently. She's going back to LA. She styles celebrities before. She's like doing her damn thing, right? And she has a whole brand. Well, my friend Tanya was very, very similar, and I met Tanya through Stacy, if that makes sense. I was like 20 years old when I started working with Stacy. So I started learning all about the fashion industry and about the fashion shows and how things work and the fast-paced environment and, you know, fittings and all this other shit, right? So I had already helped out Stacy, and through Stacy I met a lot of other really talented local artists and designers and musicians. It's so amazing, and I was able to meet people that were like my age that were doing the damn thing, okay? Like they were like shooting for the stars, right? For those of you guys that don't know, fashion shows are huge events, okay? They can take up to 8 hours, but some of them can take up to like 15 hours, and that includes setup, hair, makeup, stylings, fittings, the walk, tear down, and then pack up, okay? So that's like all inclusive, right? So a lot of times when you're involved in fashion shows, you have to be at the site really early in the morning, and then the fashion show isn't until like 6, 7 in the evening, right? And this was no different. So let's get to the story. So my friend Tanya was starting her own line of clothing, right? She's really talented, has some really cute pieces, and we went to this place called City Hall. And City Hall is this huge venue that's downtown Denver. A lot of fashion shows are held there, a lot of art shows. It's a really cool venue, and the way that it's set up, it's like perfect for fashion shows, right? So she had already gathered her models, and she got a hold of me to ask me if I could do makeup and if I knew anybody else that could do makeup as well, because she needed 2 makeup artists, right? You know, I've always loved doing makeup on the side, and I've always loved staying out late and just seeing my friends, and I've known Tanya for like ever, and she's like my girl, right? So fucking course, of course, I'm so down. Let's do this. Let's be a part of this fashion show. We about to kill it. And this was her big debut for her clothing line, and it was like a big deal, right? I got a hold of my friend Shannon. Now Shannon is really great with makeup. She always has been. She just had this natural ability to do makeup really well. She had actually done paid work for makeup artistry before. So she was like the first person that came in my mind. And she and I were really, really close. So I hit up Shannon and I was like, hey, there's this event going on downtown at City Hall. It's a fashion show for Tanya. She has her new line out. Would you be willing to help me and be a makeup artist? Now, keep in mind, this was not a paid gig because of course my friend was basically just starting out and she was just now showcasing her line, and a lot of times when you are just starting out you can't really pay the artists and stuff that you are working with. Usually it's just one of those things where it's like an agreement. You take photos of all of your work for this show and then you can put it on your own social media and kind of promote yourself and your work on your own, and that's kind of the compensation rather than money, right? Shannon was so down, and Shannon and I just loved spending time together anyway, and this is something that we bonded over. Makeup was our shit, so like we were like, fuck yeah, let's do this. I hit up Tanya and I was like, hey girl, I'm down for that night, and I got my friend Shannon and she's gonna come and we'll do makeup for you, right? We agreed to do this fashion show and we know that we're not gonna get compensated, and we're just like doing it for fun, right? There's absolutely no compensation involved. I keep saying this because it's a good point, okay? Just remember this. The girl ain't getting paid for this shit. So remember that, all right? Keep that in the back of your mind. Your girl ain't getting no money for this, okay? So I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart because I love my friend, and I'm bringing all of my own products. Shannon is bringing all of her own products. Our time and gas spent going from here all the way downtown, okay? Just keep that in mind, just saying. So fast forward, the day of the fashion show comes around. I shit you guys not, I woke up at 7. Shannon lives down the street. She woke up at 7. I go pick her up. I have my entire kit of makeup, okay, because I have 3 girls to do. We packed everything up and we leave at 7 in the morning. We stop at Starbucks, and we're also in need of like certain things for our kits, like the little mascara ones that are disposable, makeup wipes, and eyelashes. So we needed to stop at a convenience store on the way over to City Hall so that we had enough like lashes and makeup wipes and like stuff like that for all the models, right? We go and we stop at a convenience store. We stock up on eyelashes and glue and makeup wipes and Q-tips, because Q-tips be saving my life, girl. And then we go all the way downtown. So we drive all the way down there and we have to find street parking, meter parking. And so I pay for parking and we get there, right? And it's butt crack early in the morning and nobody is in a good mood, and the actual building is like closed because it's after hours technically. So we're like calling, trying to get into this building. Finally someone lets us in. It was like this huge thing, okay? Like it wasn't simple. We spent our entire morning trying to prepare for this event, right? I think that Tanya knew of Shannon, but they had never like formally met. So I introduced them, let her know that this was the other makeup artist that I brought, and blah blah blah. Points us to a table that we're gonna set up at. So we start pulling out all of our makeup, we start setting up our stations and getting ready for when the models show up so that we can just like get started, right? Models start showing up for different designers, and then our models start showing up, and then everybody, it's just like a fucking madhouse. If you guys have ever been backstage of a fashion show, it's fucking ridiculous. It is like the craziest shit because like there are like girls there practicing their walk and like getting coached right before the fashion show. There's fittings going on, hair, makeup. There's like always some type of crisis. Oh my god, we don't have boob tape, or we don't have this, or we don't have that. You are involved in a fashion show and you know how many girls you're working on for this fashion show. You kind of give yourself some room, but in the back of your mind you always have pretty much like a timer that you can only spend this amount of time on each model before they can go over to hair, and then they have to go get fitted, then they have to go get dressed, then they have to do their walkthrough, and then they have to go do the actual walk when it's time, right? So like we have a lot to do before showtime. The girls start showing up and I take my first girl, really sweet, really nice, and she was like, you know, really talkative, and I love trying to get to know the clients. I start talking to her and I was like, oh my god, how long have you been modeling? And she was like, oh, this is my first time, which definitely took me by surprise because City Hall is not a small deal. City Hall is a big deal. City Hall, there are photographers there, there are journalists there from like different local fashion magazines, there are DJs there, musicians there, artists there, like so many people that matter are at this show. So for this girl to be telling me while I'm doing her makeup that she's never modeled like at all, not print work, not catalog work, not fashion shows, not nothing, okay? She had no experience. So I was like, oh shit. I remember my first time at a fashion show and I was lost, I'm not even gonna lie. Because you don't know how things work, you don't know where you're supposed to be, everybody's yelling at you, you need to go get your hair done, you need to go get your makeup done, you need to get into this, you need to change your shirt, we gotta change your shoes, like what size do you wear, blah, 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 right? There's always last minute adjustments and it's a lot. So for this girl to be at City Hall doing a fashion show, like I was just blown away that she had no experience, right? I was like, not my problem, I'm here to do my job, I'm gonna do your makeup, great. So I had to ask Tanya, what kind of look are you looking for? Which is something that I usually have prior to the event so that I can bring like the necessary products from my collection just to have that type of look. I literally brought like most of my makeup collection with me because I had no fucking clue. Like we just didn't really have a whole lot of planning time for this. So I'm like trying to talk to Tanya and Tanya's like telling me, oh, you know, let's take a look at what she's wearing. And it turned into this huge thing and she had to like go find the garment and be like, okay, I think this is what she's wearing. And it just wasn't organized. And a lot of times fashion shows aren't. So like whatever, you just kind of roll with the flow. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this smoky eye, I'm going to do this colored lip, blah, 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 right? And all of that was happening. The girl that I was working on, I could see her getting really impatient. And she was like, are you going to do my makeup or not? And I was like, oh. Girl, I'm trying to make sure that your makeup doesn't clash with your outfit, okay? So I could see her kind of getting uneasy and feeling like we were taking too long, but we're just trying to plan everything out and make sure your ass doesn't look stupid on that runway, okay? I started working on her and everything went back to normal. It was fine. We were having a good conversation. It was fine. It was fun. Great. Okay, fine. So I finished this girl's makeup and it's just very simple makeup. A nice neutral smoky eye with a liner wing, some falsies, and a nude lip because that is what Tanya wanted, right? I looked at herself and she was like, oh my god, like my eyes look so great, this is great. And then she was like, I don't like this lip color. Well, that's the lip color that Tanya picked out because of what you're wearing. And she was like, well, I want a red lip. Well, you can't have a red lip unless Tanya approves it. And she was like, just put a red lip on me. Girl, that is not the way it works. I will ask Tanya and she was like, girl, I have my own red lipstick, like I'm just gonna do it. Please do not change anything about it until we get approval from Tanya because this is her line. Fine. So she kind of like got an attitude with me because I wouldn't let her change her lip color because we had not gotten approval. How the fuck are you gonna wear a red lip when you're not even sure what the fuck you're gonna be wearing out on the runway? What if you're wearing something completely different or that's not the same tone, like a cool tone or a warm tone? Like that shit matters. Okay, fine. So she was like, okay, well let me know what Tanya says. So she gets up. There was like a couch area that was like in the corner of this room and it's a big ass basement room, right? And it's like one big ass room and then there are just like stations everywhere, right? And there was a couch in the corner and all of our models that were waiting for their makeup to get done, they were sitting on this couch, right? So I went over to the couch to go pick out my next model that I was gonna be working on so we can keep this shit going, right? And I remember this one girl, and you guys, from the moment she walked in, she was giving me like the worst fucking looks. You know, like those looks that bitches be giving you when like they walk in and you can tell that they're already just like looking you up and down and like just like fucking being rude. That's how I felt about her the minute she walked in. And I shit y'all not, I had never met this girl a day in my life. I could not tell you who she was. I couldn't pick her out of a fucking crowd. I did not know her, but she still had an attitude. I was sitting there, right? And Tanya walked up and she grabbed two of them and was like, hey, I still need to fit these two. So only these three are available to like get their makeup done because I need to like get these girls fitted. Okay, so I'm looking at the three of them, right? And one of the bitches, the one that was looking at me all sideways was a part of the three of them that I had to pick from, right? So I pick a girl and she automatically, y'all, she was like the most stank-faced girl I had ever seen in my life. I was like, I'm not gonna judge her right off the bat because I have resting bitch face sometimes, and like a lot of people think that I'm a mean person before they even get to know me, and I hate when people do that. So I was like, you know what, maybe she's just having like a really rough start. She sits down and immediately she was like, what look are you doing on me? Like, I'm not too sure yet, but I'm just gonna get your base down, your primer and your foundation and your brows, and then once I get some direction from Tanya, then we'll go from there. She was like, so you don't know what you're doing, basically? Okay, I legit called her out and I was like, is there a reason why you're being rude to me? I was like, because you don't know what's going on. I said, have you ever been in a fashion show before? Of course, this bitch was like, no. And I was like, okay, so you don't know how this shit works. You don't know how last minute fashion shows work. You cannot just do whatever the fuck you want. This ain't prom, bitch. You can't just do what the fuck you want on your face for a fashion show. You have to get approval from the designer, hoe. So why are you being rude to me? I already told you that I'm gonna use my motherfucking product on your funky ass face, so stop talking shit. Don't sit up there and try to tell me that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, because obviously with your newbie ass, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I got real salty with her and I got a little bit rude. Seeing as how you have not ever been in a fashion show before, I completely understand that you don't understand how this entire process works. I cannot do whatever I want on your face without the designer's approval. I need to know what you're wearing and I need to know what her vision is. I'm gonna do your primer, your foundation, and your brows first. And then I will get Tanya aside and ask her what her vision is and what she wants me to do with you. I'm trying to remain professional because at the end of the day, this is my friend's big moment. This is her big reveal of her collection that she has been working so hard on, and I understand that, so I'm gonna keep my cool and I'm not gonna lose my shit on this bitch. I'm not exaggerating, I'm really not. This is exactly how she was looking when she was in the chair, and she was like, everything I would pick up, she'd be like, you're using that? It's a little bit of concealer on your eyelids. Can you close your eyes for me? So I start like working the foundation into her skin, even though she's like being a bitch. I'm still trying to do my job, right? Even thinking about this, I'm like getting so mad. Tanya needed more of a smoky dark eye, and she wanted a bright ass red lip, okay? Because her outfit was gonna be like this leather biker looking thing. So I was like, fuck yeah. So like, I love dramatic ass looks and I love working on them, right? As most of you guys know, when you do a black based smoky eye, that shit's a lot of work because you gotta blend everything in and make sure that you ain't got no fallout, that black isn't everywhere, and it's, you know, it's a lot of work. Plus I had to do, you know, I had to beat her face and do the contour and do like, you know, all of that. I did the whole shebang, okay? I'm just trying to get done with this bitch as fast as I can because her negative energy is like starting to get onto me, and I'm like starting to not enjoy myself, and I'm starting to like want to beat her ass because I don't like people talking to me like that, and I don't like people treating me like that, and I hate unprofessional people. So I was just trying to get it done, right? I finished her. I didn't even hand her a mirror. Instead of handing her a mirror after I was done with her, I called Tanya over and I was like, hey girl, come look at this, let me know if you need me to make any changes. So Tanya looks at her and she's like, girl, you did so great. Like, yes girl, like I love it. She looked at her and she was like, you're great, like you look amazing, go to hair, and then after that we'll get you into your outfit. So she had an attitude about that, and she was like, me and Tanya both heard her mumbling under her breath, and she was pissed that she couldn't see a mirror, but we were like rushing on time because she decided to spend most of my time with her questioning what the fuck I was doing and the process of which the fashion show happens because she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. I literally looked at Tanya like, you see what my ass had to do with? Do you see? You see that mumbling bullshit she's doing? I go to the couch and I get another girl. Shannon is done with her model and her model looked gorgeous, okay? Her model had blue eyes, and like Shannon did the damn thing, okay? We had these models looking so good. So Shannon, like literally within a minute or two after I finished mine, finished hers. So we went together to go get another 2 models. So on the way over to the couch, Shannon came to me and was telling me about all the issues that she was having with her models and them questioning her and being bitches to her and like being rude, just being rude as fuck, right? So me and Shannon were like, so we go to the couch and we pick up 2 more models, and these models are cool as shit. They're so much fun, both of them. So I'm doing this girl's makeup, and she has been a model before. She's done this before, and it's such a vast difference between a girl that's never been in a fashion show before and a girl that's experienced. It was like night and day, right? So these girls are so much fucking fun, and they were just so happy to be there. This was not their first rodeo, and like they already knew, don't ask questions, don't ask me nothing. We're just gonna have fun. We're gonna put some makeup on your face, make you look good, girl, and then we're gonna send you to go get your hair done. That's how it's supposed to go. All the hairstylists were along the wall, okay? And their backs were facing a wall. And so there were like chairs and chairs and chairs and chairs. And so that way when their chair opened up, we could get another model, right? I could see the model that I had just done in front of me getting her hair done, and she's like facing me, right? So I keep doing this girl's makeup, and I'm working on her eyebrows, okay? And I remember, you know, penciling in her eyebrows, and tell me why. I look up, and the bitch that I had just done her makeup, the one that was questioning me and being a bitch from the beginning, was sitting in the hairstylist chair, getting her hair curled, and this bitch had a makeup wipe in her hand, and she did one of these, and took all of her makeup off. She was taking her makeup off in the hairstylist chair. All the makeup that I had put on her, all of my shit, all of my makeup that I had spent tons of money on, all of my product, bitch, she was taking that shit off of her face. I'm like penciling in this poor girl's eyebrows, and I look up and I saw that and I was like, this bitch, and I had no problem losing my fucking shit. When you work that hard and you're working on another person's face, and I am working with my brushes, my products, and my time on your ass, and I get you done on time, and you're supposed to be over there getting your hair done, and I see you wiping off all of the work and product that I just did. Every fucking person stopped and stared, okay? This bitch had eyeliner all over here because she did that with the makeup wipe. It just fucking like got everywhere. Tanya runs over there and was like, what did you do? Like, why did you do that? And that girl was like, I didn't like the way she did my makeup. I don't like the way I look in this color. I want my makeup and I want to do it the way that I want to because I know how it looks best. And so I'm going to redo it. Don't worry about it. I brought my own stuff. She literally grabbed her makeup bag, you guys. She brought her makeup bag with her. And so it like told me like, bitch, why did you even sit in my chair when you knew your intention in the first place? You brought all your makeup because you wanted to do your own. And if that was the case, why not talk to Tanya and see if that's okay? But why the fuck would you waste my time and my product? It looked fucking amazing, you guys. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that smoky eye was gradient as fuck. It was blended out as fuck. So I'm like losing my shit at this point, right? And I'm looking at Tanya like, you believe this shit? And Tanya literally looks like she's about to have a nervous breakdown. Finally, Tanya lost her shit, okay? And like started yelling and was like, I don't give a fuck what you think you're gonna do. Just because you think you know how to do makeup doesn't mean that's what I'm looking for my motherfucking clothes, bitch. And so like they started fighting and they were like legit arguing. Go back to the girl that I was working on, and I finished her makeup and I'm fucking pissed. Meanwhile, literally security of that building came downstairs and had to stand in between Tanya and that bitch because they were fighting. So I'm like trying to breathe and I'm like trying to take a breather, and I'm letting Tanya handle this bitch because Tanya's losing her shit at this point, okay? It's like all chaotic. I look over at my friend Shannon, and Shannon is packing up her shit, okay? What the fuck are you doing? So like Shannon looked at me and she's like, I'm done, I can't, I'm done. And I was like, whoa. So like she's like packing up her shit, right? And I was like, holy shit. So like everything, you guys, is just going to caca. Like nobody wants to work together. Everybody's fucking fighting because these bitches decided that they knew best and that they didn't want to listen to the designer. And now we're set back, and like it's gonna be hard as fuck to get everything back on track. And if you think that I'm gonna do this bitch's makeup again, you got me all the way fucked up. I'm not touching her face again. So I didn't expect her to like pack up her shit, and I was like, oh my god, like what happened with my girl really pissed her off. No. Looked at Tanya, she was like, another one of your models just mouthed off to me and just took off to the bathroom and tearing off her eyelashes because she didn't like them. I'm done. I'm not gonna stay here. Nikki and I are not about to deal with this shit. You need to get more professional models in your fashion show because this right here is some bullshit. So I had no idea. My girl is over in the hairstylist chair taking off her makeup. Shannon's girl decided to get up in the middle of her doing her makeup and start tearing off her eyelashes and stormed off to the bathroom. You guys, it wasn't like we were doing some weird fucking makeup on them. No, it was like glam-based makeup, but like either a smoky eye or a neutral eye with different lips, and like, you know, the designer wanted different types of looks for different types of pieces, but like they weren't like ridiculous, so I didn't understand why they were acting like that. I told Tanya, I was like, we're out. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get other makeup artists. She was like, nope. She's like, I'm canceling my show. And I felt really bad. And she was like, it's not y'all's fault. It really isn't. She was like, you know, these models just aren't ready. And I was like, girl, you need to find professional models that do this for a living, or at least do it part-time, because they will take it a little bit more seriously. Okay, so the next thing that happened was like a little bit ratchet. I'm not even gonna lie, and I didn't know that it was gonna happen, but it happened, okay? Pack up all of our shit and we're leaving, and we're both fucking pissed because like we had never had an experience like this before. Both me and Shannon had worked at fashion shows before, and neither one of us had ever seen anything like this before, ever. So we go to my car, we put all of our shit in my trunk. So we get in the car, okay? Remember I told you guys that we stopped at Starbucks before we went over there, right? And Shannon loves Frappuccinos. It doesn't matter how cold it is outside, she will get her ass a Frappuccino. She's one of them, okay? And she put her seatbelt on, and we're like about to leave, and you know, I'm like putting on the heat and I'm putting on my seatbelt, right? And she sees the model that ran off, the one that took off her eyelashes, her model, not mine, hers, saw that model standing outside of the building smoking a cigarette. She threw her Frappuccino out of the window, you guys. Rolled down my window and threw the drink out of the window. So as soon as I noticed what the fuck she's doing, I put my shit in drive, and I'm like trying to drive away. I was like, girl! And she was like, no, fuck that bitch. She wasted my shit. Fuck that bitch. I never had so much adrenaline rushing through my veins before. I felt like we were in a getaway car, like skirt. I was trying to like leave in peace, and my friend Shannon was like, no, bitch. That bitch got me all the way fucked up. Boom, bitch. That was the most dramatic fashion show experience I've ever had. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. If you did, please don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be notified of all of my new videos, especially story times here on my channel every single Friday. If you guys have any questions or have any similar experiences, please leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Please don't forget to follow me on all of my social media, my Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. I will leave all of that information down below for you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for checking out my video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace out.